Blue Jays fans this weekend and every weekend. You can catch Toronto Blue Jays ball games right here on Sports 1440. Ben Schulman provides the play-by-play. You provide the chips and beer. Check out the Blue Jays this weekend on Edmonton's home for sports. Sports 1440.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian, and support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is sounding the call. Don't struggle through winter with a furnace you can't trust. For maintenance before winter strikes, call Legacy. Call Legacy. For furnace tune-ups and repairs to give peace of mind. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Or to scrap your old furnace for a brand new high-efficiency one. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. And with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your new furnace, it's gotta be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Oilers rookie camp is here. We've got the rosters. We'll go over them one by one. Plus, Blue Jays win, and we have secured an interview with Hunter Thompson. I'm not kidding. Lowdown driven by Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues on the entire lineup of 2025 Sierra trucks. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. As you know, we're live on Sports 1440 and YouTube, also sports1440.ca, iHeartRadio, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, Apple and Spotify podcasts allow us to download there. You can catch us there. We tweet it out on X right after the show as well. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, at jfenwick04, and I keep forgetting to get Sam's damn Twitter handle if he has one. You can text or call us at 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. We have Kevin McCurdy today at 1 o'clock at 1240. Hunter Thompson, the golfer. He's going to be playing this week in Edmonton. Matter of fact, he's playing today, and then he'll be playing tomorrow and all weekend as well. So we'll tell you a little bit about that and more as the day rolls along. Right now, though, it's time for the introductions. We begin with the newest member of our troupe. He's undersized in stature, but makes up for it with 6 feet of hair. He can start a hair band in 5 minutes just by walking down the mall. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Wilness. Sam Wilness, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
Now, you are producing the show right now.
I
correct?
am, in fact.
Yeah. And any nerves at all?
A little bit of the heebie-jeebies, but that's about it.
Right. And do you think that Declan throwing spitballs at you currently, does that help or hinder you?
A little bit of both, you know.
Okay.
It keeps me on my toes.
There you go. All right. He ended the show yesterday by defending Lamar Jackson so vigorously, some of us had to take a Spravato right afterwards to calm down. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody. Are you still angry and upset, or has that changed a little bit?
I mean, I'm just trying to defend Lamar Jackson.
But just, people are dissing him. They're showing disrespect to a guy you've never met.
This is true.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm still a little fired up. Yeah.
I wanted the show to go on, but we had to go because the music had started. Yeah. So what are you going to do? Now, for those of you at home, I'm re-racking my intro yesterday because Declan wasn't here. He was truant. He did not attend. He does not get perfect attendance, but this is a damn good intro, and I'm going to run it anyway. He's so involved in football right now. I don't know if he's in the Buffalo Bills backfield or the Elks huddle. Either way, he's wearing tight pants and saying things like, if I'm not the primary target, then what are we doing here anyway? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger.
Pretty good intro.
Yeah.
I'm wearing shorts. And I was here today. My perfect attendance.
No, but you weren't
intact.
here yesterday.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was.
You weren't here yesterday.
Yes,
on
I was.
time.
No, I wasn't here on
You
time.
weren't. Well, that's what truancy means.
So tardiness.
Do you know what a truant officer is? Do you know what a hall monitor is in school?
I know that in Back to the Future, Marty McFly's girlfriend wanted to keep her away from the bald guy because he was going to give him a tardy slip. That's what I remember. It was a
That's
good
an
reference.
excellent memory about something that does not matter at all, and I appreciate
Well,
you.
it's, great
All right.
movie.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so anybody watch the Jays game last night? Vladdy Guerrero, I don't really care about the Jays, but I love Vladdy Guerrero. Fair? Like everybody loved Vladdy Guerrero as much as I do. Do you?
Well, listen, you know me, I'm not the biggest baseball guy. I got my hands in so many different cookie jars that it's tough to follow
illegal
baseball.
gambling.
Plus, well, the gambling's legalized now, so watch it.
Okay.
And beyond that, I'm a Reds fan, right?
Right.
And we're chasing the wild card spot. And Ellie, I thought at this point in his career, I know we're talking Jays, but I thought Ellie would start to hit for a little bit more power.
Oh.
Maybe that's wishful thinking. Like I thought he was a guy who could go yard 40 times. I don't know if that's going to be in his career trajectory.
Right. So I don't know who to ask this. It might be you or Josh, but we have a new camera angle today. Are we like, going to change angles from time to time, or what are we doing here?
No,
I'll take
absolutely
this one
not.
back.
All right, Josh, crush it.
Just because this is my issue, essentially. So we just have an issue with an HDMI cable right now to your main camera, the one that makes you look all beautiful and everything.
Mm-hmm. The one that has the soft Julie Christie lighting that makes me look good.
Yeah, the one that makes it look like that the show was directed by Martin Scorsese, that one. So we got in this morning and it's all purple and like not like a tinge of purple like we've seen on the TVs in here before that we think would be a little funny.
Right.
But like you're just purple pixelations.
Well,
so
maybe I had a lot of grape juice last night.
maybe.
No.
And so we just
But how would that explain Kevin being all purple this morning?
Well,
as
I don't know what he does with his time.
had
You
a
would
lot
have
of
to
grape
check
juice
with-
last night also. Just a grape juice party.
So, and we're the equipment replacement is on its way.
I'm hoping so. I don't know if we can consider what Declan and I have emailed solidified answers.
It's not research. I'll
but
say
I
that.
hope so.
Yeah.
So hopefully the replacement is on the way. If not, we'll ride with it today, and I'll come in tomorrow like Gandalf from the east with the HDMI cable.
Well, I think Declan's not upset, so I think it's okay. If
I'm
he was upset, I saw what he did to that oatmeal, so he's not at that level.
I'm pretty checked out with the whole show
Okay.
at this point. You know what I mean? Like, let's call a spade here.
So you no longer care. That can't be it. You care a lot.
No, I'm pretty.
All right. Oilers rookie camp rosters are there. It's going on today. They're going to play Friday and Monday or Sunday against Calgary here on Friday, Calgary on Sunday. I'm just really briefly going to go over this. This is an alpha order, and we're going to start with the forwards. Connor Clattenburg, who's a tough, strong winger, very physical. A lot of people have high hopes from a lot of folks who I really like in terms of their scouting, like this player a lot. The math does not love him, but in the past, we've seen players like Kali Buchberger or Zach Strattini make the NHL and have an impact. Clattenburg may or may not be in that category. I'm not sure. I would suggest that it'll be interesting to watch him in this year's camp. Matt Capone, who is an NCAA grad, signed to an AHL contract, highly skilled, late pick a couple of years ago from the Oilers, and I think he's going to have a really good AHL season if he gets the opportunity, and he could have a good AHL career. Doesn't mean he's going to have an NHL career. Ike Howard is going to be their first shot scorer. Big Bowman bet, and we've all been talking about him throughout the summer. Quinn Hudson is a two-way college grad with some promise. He played 2 games last year with the team, with the Oilers. Was pretty pedestrian, but it's a big step up from NCAA to NHL. Suspect he'll play in the AHL this year, but I do like his future. Tommy Lafreniere and David Lewandowski are both draft picks from the 2025 draft, and both have skill, and Lewandowski's got a little bit of size. Lafreniere has a motor that won't quit. There's some promise there, but you got to remember when you're talking about guys like Lafreniere and Lewandowski, they're young players, and they won't impress as much as the college graduates or the older guys, okay? Vilhelmi Mahala is one of those older guys, a passing winger, very good player out of Finland. Then the Legia had 44 assists there that last year. He should, based on his skill, dominate a tournament like this. William Nicol, a very skilled center, had surgery early in the summer. I don't think he's going to play. They said 4 to 6 months in the summer. We'll probably see him mid-season in the OHL. Andrew O'Neill is a big, aggressive centerman, very skilled right-handed centerman, Oil King. He transferred from college. Rhett Pidlick is a small college winger who just graduated and signed an AHL contract with the Bakersfield Condors. Josh Szymanski is a big two-way center from Germany, one of Stan Bowman's first off-season signings this year, and he's interesting. I suspect he'll be a middle six forward in the AHL, and we'll see if he has an AHL future. Matt Savoy's NHL future is right away. James Steffen was a very good junior scorer. Didn't do much in the AHL last year, didn't play a lot, but he did score 6 goals in 12 ECHL games. He has skill. We don't know that he'll get an opportunity to play in a feature role. That's what he'd need to impress. Brady Stonehouse is a graduating junior, has good speed. 3 years in a row, his goal scoring totals went down when he was in the OHL, so we're not sure what to expect. Now the defensemen. They begin with left defenseman Jackson Adam, big WHL defenseman. Size is impressive. NHL teams love that. Bo Akey, graduating junior, signed by the Oilers a couple of years ago. Exceptional skill. Exceptional speed plus skill. He is smaller. Damien Carfagna, college signing, excellent speed. I like his numbers. Hyde Davidson is a WHL Blue, and he was a player last year for the Oilers at the rookie camp against Vancouver, and I think he played 3 games. Drew Krebs, former Medicine Hat Tiger, has had 1 year in the ECHL, and he is an invite to this camp. Parker Von Richter, what a name. Oh, my. Tough defenseman with an intriguing resume. Carson Woodall, jack of all trades defenseman out of the OHL. That information via Brock Otten of OHL Prospects. The goaltenders, Josh Benini, WHL goalie, hell of a start for Moose Jaw. Had a great opening night, one of the best in Warriors history in 2024. Nathan Day is an OHL grad, turning pro this fall. Size over numbers prospect. Samuel Johnson, size and numbers. He has a chance, like him a lot. And Connor Unger, undersized, oldest goaltender in camp. And with that said, he should be the most impressive. Remember, when you're watching these kids and they're playing playing games against other rookies, watch for their age. If they're 24, they should dominate. If they're 18, well, you get the point. Okay. We talked about the Blue Jays a little bit. They are, it's day to day, right? It's so close. But they went down early, got back, got the lead, and beat the Astros last night 4-3, while the Yankees were getting thumped by the Tigers. So all that really means is in the standings, it's 3 games now. Yankees and Bo Sox trail the Jays by 3, and you're at about 144 games, so you've got 18 left. If you can ever stretch it to 6 at any time between now and the end of the year, and you're the Jays, you feel like you've won the division. They aren't there yet. Tigers are 8.5 up. They are really the class of the American League. Astros, a slender 1-game margin over the Mariners, who are they're not really playing that well, but they're playing better than the Astros. And over in the National League, I don't know why we're doing this, but we'll do it. Phillies are up by 9 on the Mets. They are home and dry. 6.5 for the Brewers. I would say they're also home and dry against the Cubs. And then the Dodgers, a slender 2-point lead. And the Giants coming up. The Giants are coming up, and the Reds too in the wild card. This thing isn't over for your man Ellie, just so you know.
They're right there.
I mean, they played well. And Francona has made a world of difference to that team. He really
has. I actually think he's nerfed Ellie a little bit. I feel this season we've seen
Ellie
a little bit. I think we've seen less of the excitement from Ellie with what he did offensively, but we've still seen the same glaring errors, when he's striking out and he's getting thrown out. You know what I mean? He's I'm sure in the long run, this is going to be better for Ellie as a player because he was far too mistake prone. But right now, this current iteration of what Francona's done, and they are a great defensive infielding team. Ellie's a great defensive infielder, but he has taken a little bit of what Ellie has made Ellie special, stunted that, and the mistakes are still there. So that's a bit of an issue. But this is also the cheapest Ellie is ever going to be, and this is a decent window for the Reds to be a playoff team.
So you're like Ellie, because right now is the cheapest you're ever going to be.
Yeah. And I'm getting a little more expensive. Like compared to when I started here, my goodness.
Because like I noticed that your parking stall is moving closer to the mall. So,
closer than yours now.
Yeah.
That doesn't worry you at all?
Not at all.
All right.
No, look, it'll be a simple, short conversation. They'll say, "Hey, Lowetide, there's a free hamburger for you in the parking lot." I'll go running out there. They'll change the locks, and I won't get in again. It's gonna. How much is a hamburger? $5?
Oh, you're getting. Yeah. You're getting cheap hamburgers.
Hunter Thompson is a golfer from Calgary. Wonderful resume. Michigan, and he golfs for Golf Canada. Has a long and successful resume. He is playing in the ATP Classic at Northern Bear, the Pro-Am today, and then the Classic starts tomorrow. We're going to talk to him at 12:40. Rumors on the way next, and don't forget we have Kevin McCurdy at 1. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Experience a season of superior luxury, performance, and savings. The Fall Experience event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The all-new redesigned 2026 XC90 is here. Come drive one today. You won't be disappointed. Finance or lease a 2026 XC40 from 1.99%. And right now, you can save $7,500 on remaining 2025 XC60s. The Fall Experience event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Visit VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered. With half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West Ed and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank, plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products, 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. They have employee pricing right now. Check it out at wolfgmcbuick.com. Beautiful day. We're getting August weather in September is what's happening right now. Beautiful. All down the line. This comes in from John. We were talking about Declan's perfect attendance being ruined. He was truant yesterday. John says, I was talking to a friend in grade 6 at recess, and we didn't hear the buzzer. We were late getting back to class. It ruined his perfect attendance and record for grade 6. It was the only negative mark on his attendance record for his entire 7 years at our elementary. His mom was mad at me. Was your mom like that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Did your mom get along with Mrs. Andrews?
I think so. But they didn't know. Only I knew.
Only you knew.
But here's the thing. Who's going to believe a 7-year-old?
Look, I'll tell you what. If one of my children came home and said, the teacher said I owed it to you, my family.
Yeah.
My
you know what
would be, that's not what you say to a little kid.
Maybe she thought I was another kid or something. Like maybe she mixed up like the parent to kid relationships.
Could be. I mean, that's them's fighting words, you know,
For sure
especially
they
today
were.
where people they go off half cocked when anything is said to their kids.
She was a mean old lady who didn't give the kids the benefit of the doubt.
Well, that's
I
what
mean,
you
you
say.
know.
We'd have to hear her version.
God
of it.
bless her, but it was like it's pretty tough to be.
Well, you grew up pretty good, sir.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
but that's your
blessings on
parents.
blessings.
Yeah.
Well, and she'll tell you that. She'll tell you as much.
Your mom will?
Mrs. Andrews. She'll make sure to let me know it was my parents. It was weird, man. It was a weird situation.
But you know
imagine
what?
having the wherewithal at 7 to know like how effed up this is.
You know what though? You're not bitter.
I got nothing but love in my heart. It doesn't always show.
No.
But I got nothing but love in my heart.
How badly do you want to throw all the equipment in this room out the window? Be honest.
It's a great question. A little bit.
Because
not overly.
You and I have worked together long enough, so I realize something.
Mhm.
You internalize your anger.
Well,
You don't get angry outside. Your frustration goes inside.
Yes, because there's no
Yeah.
point in getting angry.
No.
It doesn't do anyone any good. And if I internalize frustration, the only person who has to deal with it is me, which is doable.
Mhm.
And I don't want like what it's unfair for me to ask someone else to if I was to externalize my frustration to have someone deal with that.
Right.
It's not fair to them.
Do you think that my friend Lynn has started, I think, Wednesday nights, she goes to a gym and she punches like a big boxing bag like for
Yeah.
like an hour and she gets it all out of her system. Do you think that would benefit you?
Well, I was a boxer for a number of years, right?
I know, but
And
that's what I'm talking about now. Would that benefit you now?
I would probably like the funny thing is like I would probably just think about how poor my form has become in years I haven't, and then
So
I would just like work on,
self-critical,
and then I would just work on correcting it, and I'd get angry that I'm not as good a boxer as I once was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So there's almost nothing you can do after work that doesn't frustrate you.
Absolutely, maybe a run.
Oh my God. All right. It's now time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. We believe you should create your own electricity. Let's build a brighter, sustainable future with GreatCanadianSolar.com. There you go. You know, we don't pre-plan this stuff. We just talk and then stuff comes out, which is kind of cool. I've had a few people ask me why I'm not commenting every day on Connor McDavid, mostly because I read your comments and then I go, I have nothing to add because I don't want to be a part of what is, you know, I think at some level, some of the texts I get in here are, you are going to feel so bad when he signs. So I think that jumping to conclusions is always a bad idea. You know, wait to see how this plays out. If he does leave, you can have all the rest of your life to say things. Hey, Lowetide, if McDavid had been here for a decade and knows the management well, the coaching well, the owner well, the core well, the city well, the traffic well, the snow well, what does he have to think about? He either knows he wants to stay and should get it over with or extend, or it's something causing him to want to commit. What could it be? The allure of living a better living city. Sorry for mixing that up. Well, Colin, let me answer it in a couple of ways. Number one, the frustration that you feel is understandable, but that frustration isn't really Connor McDavid's responsibility. He has a responsibility and an opportunity to evaluate what he wants to do. Does he want to play here for 8 years, 8 more years, 10 more years? Does he want to, finish his career with the Edmonton Oilers, or would he like to think about something else? And what he said is that he wants to win the Stanley Cup. It's been very obvious that he wants to win the Stanley Cup. Clearly, the frustration of the last 2 years have gotten to him. Maybe Broberg and Holloway getting offer sheeted bothered him. Those things can happen, right? And what we're dealing with now is an unknown. And it's a particularly difficult unknown if you're a fan of the Edmonton Oilers, because you want to know. Well, you want to be able to do the lines and pairings and look forward to the next 10 years. So when you say that, McDavid knows the management and he knows the coaches, well, the ownership has not changed, but the managers have changed quite a few times, and the coaching has changed a lot. So I think this is a cumulative thing, and I think that it's a little bit unfair to say, well, why can't McDavid make up his mind right away? Because this is the first chance he's had an opportunity since he was, going into his third year in the NHL. Players earned this opportunity, and he's earned this, and I think that we should respect his opportunity to contemplate and to think about what he wants to do.
My thing to Colin's question, not that you asked,
right?
But I'm here, so I might as well. No,
I
my
mean,
thing is, I don't think the allure of living in a better city. Listen, when you're making 16.5 million, even right now, $12 million a year, you're going to be living pretty well no matter where you are. I think what it is the only thing I think McDavid can be thinking about in reference to Colin's question is term, because you don't want to tie yourself to a sinking ship. And I'm not saying that's what the Oilers are at all.
No, but there's a concern about whether they continue.
Exactly, because you've been here for 10 years, 12, more than it'll be by the time at least this contract ends as its current iteration, it'll be more than 10 years. So you've been here for enough time that you probably feel like you have a good idea of what the organization is, how they go about things, what they do. And if you're thinking about another 8 years, that may be where the lack of confidence comes from. So I think it's just, you look at a 4 or 5 year deal as a window to win. And then while you're still, because McDavid's going to be in his prime until he's what, like 38 years old?
Oh, I mean, he could be 40 and playing well.
So I think he wants to maximize his ability in his prime to win a cup. And I think that's where the term comes from. And I think that's what he's thinking about.
That could all be fair. I just think this is an opportunity for him to, like, I'm not going to, I would never go on and badmouth him. It's not my style. And I don't think he deserves that. He's given this organization and the fans a decade of brilliance, but this is his opportunity. Nick in Grand Prairie just tuned in. So sorry if you haven't already touched on this, but Netflix announcing the release of Who Killed the Expos must make LT happy or sad. It doesn't make me sad. It depends on, they need to point the finger at the right people, and maybe they won't. The Toronto Blue Jays were extremely helpful in ending the Montreal Expos, and that's not even hearsay. That's a fact. So will they have that part of it in there? And will they have a part of the ownership at the time deciding they would just, trade the Expos back to Major League Baseball and take over the Miami Marlins? And did they also say that the Expos were in a pennant race and Major League Baseball refused to give them extra coins so they could recall players or make trades to help them win a division? All of that, if it's in there, then I'll like it, because I think that story needs to be told. But it's done. Effectively for my lifetime, the sport that I loved the most as a child and the team that I cheered for the most as a child is dead. And it's nice they're talking about it. I hope they do a good job, but it doesn't really impact me. I'm going to be bitter for the rest of my life. Why are we not talking about Curl the Thrill? Well, the contract isn't signed. We would be if he was. He turned down a lot of coin.
Well, here's the thing, because I was texting that texter back. According to Rob Reinhart, that didn't actually happen.
Oh, and
negotiations are ongoing.
Okay.
So
it sounded like a lot of money to turn down.
We do have some, ongoing discussions here. Like Frank is obviously, one of the biggest names as a hockey insider, nearly 400,000 followers. People are running with that. But yeah, Rob Reinhart, he came out and said that he did not, in fact, turn down that extension.
Okay. That's a lot of money. I don't think he turned that down.
The only reason Kirill would turn down, because that would make you the highest paid player in terms of AAV and total value, obviously.
Yeah.
So the only reason you turn that down is if you feel you don't want to be in Minnesota, and
but you might want to do what McDavid's doing and sign shorter.
I get what you're saying, but here's McDavid's already had an 8-year, $100 million contract. Kirill has not had that big money, and he's going to get a lot of it up front with signing bonuses. And respectfully, because I think Kirill is phenomenal. He's not McDavid.
No, he's not. But he's also like, oh God, do I want to say this?
I want to hear you say it.
Well, don't get mad at me.
No, it's okay. It's me, you, and Sam. No one's listening.
No, because then I say it and then people go, no, you're wrong.
Why don't you text it to me and I'll say it?
No. Look, Russians like to play in New York.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but they often, or Florida, they often get to the East Coast as quickly as they can. And New York is obviously, international city. And they can fly home and all those things. But I mean, I don't know anything about the negotiation. With all due respect, and I mean that a lot, please don't refer to players by their first name, Habman. Who did we refer to with their first name?
Well, I don't know, but sometimes it does come out. Like Connor, we do it a lot.
Oh yeah, but it's because we say McDavid 1,000 times, so we say Connor as shorthand.
And
for
we
McDavid.
also Yeah, but here's the other thing.
I did say Carroll, but somebody texted it to me.
I kind of get where Habman's coming from, but I don't think it's that serious.
I don't think I do it. I said Carroll. I might have said Connor for McDavid because I say McDavid so often, but that's just a matter of trying not to be repetitive, which I do all by my lonesome without any help. D Black says, I heard from this one guy, heard from this one girl that her kid heard from a teacher at their school who found out that McDavid will re-sign when he's ready. D Black. Well, we got to get that on the news. McDavid is likely feeling pressure from the PA to take a max deal. Notably, Kaprizov and Eichel have yet to sign. Do you think that the PA wants to ensure that his salary surpasses whatever they sign for? I don't think I can say any better than that. Look, if I'm Connor McDavid, I'll tell you what I do. If I'm Connor, with the amount of money that is increasing, I'd sign a series of one-year contracts. Because what's the cap next year?
So next year it's going to be, I have to look it up. It's 94.5.
Yeah, and then
101 after
then 101.
that.
So I would just like sign one-year deals based on the fact that it was going to be a lot better the next year. You know, you could do that. I know people would get outraged by it, but you could do that.
My only problem with that is that nothing in life is guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, there's some. What if you blow your knee tomorrow? If you're Connor and you miss out on 120 or 112 million dollars.
Well, it will be a really.
I know
really
there's insurance.
Mistake.
I know there's insurance. I get that, but.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. That a series of one-year deals. I get it. Because I get it, but it doesn't exactly inspire confidence from the fans or with the organization.
But
because the organization, if they know you only have you for 1 year at a time, like they don't really know how to build a team.
Well, if you have Connor McDavid for next year, you're trying to win the Stanley Cup
every year. Yeah.
So I would probably proceed on that basis. But again, Connor McDavid has the right to do what he wants to do. And let's be honest here, with the cap and with the increasing cap, he's sort of rewriting history. Phil Esposito didn't have this opportunity, and Bobby Orr didn't have this opportunity. And, you know, I mean, Sidney Crosby, he signed a contract that everybody says, oh, it was such a great deal, and it was. But when he signed it based on percentages, it was at the high end. And then he became a real bargain as time went on. If you wanted to avoid that being a real bargain every year, you'd sign a series of one-year contracts. You think he's waiting to extend until we get a goaltender? No, I don't, Josh, but a lot of people do. And they text the show every day. McDavid may not know what he wants. If you sign short-term and get injured, no money. Long-term, you have certainty. He's thinking about it, from Kevin. That's exactly right. To that name comment, it's my pet peeve when announcers or commentators use players' nicknames that just don't. Well, like, you mean like the Nuge? Just so you know why people do that, it's shorthand. Like it's better than saying McDavid 11 times in a segment, I think. We have a goalie. He's been to back-to-back Cup finals for Massey. I'm with you, Massey. Amen to that. Sign 8 years, escalating salary, 16, 17, 18. Well, he can sign for 19, right? Right now.
Yeah, 20% of the cap, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, you can differentiate the money however you want, but there's still a max limit because of the cap. And the AAV still stays the same because of the cap.
Right.
So if you make $1 million your last year contract and 19, like the AAV for the entire duration of the contract is going to be the same.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it comes in signing bonuses. Doesn't matter if it's front or back loaded.
Yeah. People have asked, they've said Lowetide. Can Cates give partial ownership to McDavid as part of the deal? No, it all has to be from the cap pool. Oilers get comfort, and he's making more. He can add clauses to increase based on the cap increase percentage. I think the cap is the cap, right? If you sign an 8-year deal for X dollars, they divide it by 8. Why can't a player sign an 8-year, 20% cap contract, Scott? Great question, Scott. Maybe you put that in the next CBA. Can we sign him to a tree company and give him $28 million?
Boom. Now you're thinking. HVAC.
Man, that is so good.
You know what's crazy? Did you read the report Bruce Arthur had about Kawhi Leonard? He asked Toronto basically for the same thing. He wanted a no-show job to pay him whatever the amount was.
Right.
And he also wanted ownership in the Maple Leafs.
Did he understand what that ask involved?
No. Surely he absolutely did not.
Now, I'm asking you, and I know you're a lawyer, so don't even pretend you're not.
I wrote the LSAT once, yep.
Could you use that if you're Leonard as a, man, I didn't know?
Yeah, no, there is no no plausible deniability anymore.
Excuse me, officer, I didn't know that 60 meant 60.
Yeah, if that report's true and there is a paper trail of him asking for the exact same thing, he then went and got in LA. Plausible deniability is out the window.
But what if he just really said it sincerely?
Oh, he started to cry a little?
I really mean it, he says.
Well, then I guess it's okay.
Can I interject very quickly?
Yes.
So you're basically saying, could Kawhi Leonard pull a Shohei Ohtani?
Oh, my God. Why did you go there? Shohei is as innocent as the driven snow. Did you see his dog? No person who owns a dog that cute and beautiful can be a bad person. What are you saying?
I disagree, but
what are you saying?
What am I saying? I almost let one slip there.
Yeah.
That Shohei Ohtani
short career.
Guilty.
Josh, you're obviously 100% right.
Thanks.
He might not be guilty in the worst sense of the word, but he absolutely knew what
So
was
then
going
Kawhi
on.
needs a fall guy, some guy who does his errands for him.
His uncle. Yep.
What was the name of the guy who was in OJ's pool house?
Oh yeah, Keto.
Yeah, Kato Kalin.
Yep.
That's what they need. They need a guy who's just like, I don't know a lot.
Do you remember watching the OJ verdict?
I watched the whole thing. Whole thing.
You know
it was spellbinding.
During the Bronco chase, they put the NBA Finals in a corner box.
Did they
the
really?
NBA Finals, yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's insane.
I remember watching it. I remember being mad that it was getting dusk and you couldn't see very well anymore. The helicopter feed was crappy. And that's what I was mad about. I mean, in terms of humanity. Okay, it's 12:37. We're going to take a break. On the way, we're talking a little golf with Hunter Thompson. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
I'm a little hungry.
I've got Booster Balls from Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster Balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients. Chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy. The new mint chocolate Booster Ball. Peppermint, cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar. Presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids age 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic.
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
Seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
Measles outbreaks are occurring in Canada, including Alberta. These outbreaks are highly preventable. Measles is an extremely contagious disease that is spread easily through the air. The best way to protect yourself, your family, and your community is to ensure you are up to date with your immunizations. Don't get measles. Get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
I'm alright. Nobody but about me. Why you got to give me a fight?
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 at 1241, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues right now at wolfgmcbuick.com, and check it out. Got a very busy day. Kevin McCurdy is going to join us, talk to us about the rookie camp, about the McDavid news, and things we'd like to see during Edmonton Oilers training camp. All right, we are delighted to be joined right now by Hunter Thompson, who is a very good golfer from Calgary. Hunter, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on.
Looking at your resumes, Golf Canada and then the Michigan sites, you, sir, have done a lot on the golf course and a lot of impressive things. I've only got 2 hours to prep the show. It took all 2 hours just to read what you've done.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You are playing at Northern Bear, pretty close to home. You're from Calgary. Course looked great last time I was there. How does it look right now?
Yeah, and I think it's in great shape. Fairways are pretty firm, balls rolling a long ways, and obviously elevation, it's going a long ways as well. Greens are pretty soft. They're rolling nice. Course is in great shape, and this event's set up really nice. They got a bunch of grandstands and a lot of hospitality. All the volunteers are doing a great job, so it's going to be a great week out here.
Do you because sometimes they grow the rough up a little bit for you pros. If you get off the fairway, are you in a little bit of danger there? It might cost you a shot.
This week I wouldn't say there's much rough at all. I'm not sure if that's because it doesn't look like there's been a lot of rain here lately. Like all the rough kind of looks pretty dried out. So I don't think the rough's going to be too big of an issue this week. It's always nice to keep it in the fairway.
Let's talk a little bit about you. You, as I mentioned, you're from Calgary, and beautiful golf courses there. A lot of great golfers, but it's not like it's a year-round sport. What caused you to become interested in golf? And I'm assuming at a young age.
Yeah, so I got into the game really young when I was about 4 years old, and I pretty much just fell in love with it right away. It was just I was fortunate enough to have my parents expose me to all different kinds of sports. So golf is kind of the thing that I just really showed the most interest in, and it wasn't even close. Did you kind of have built on that years on end, and this is what it became.
Did you enjoy other sports, like any winter sports?
Yeah, I did. I used to ski race actually when I was. I think I quit when I was like 12 years old. So yeah, I used to ski race competitively, but by that time, I honestly realized that golf is what I wanted to do with my life. And I did play some basketball throughout high school as well, but it was more for fun, just with my buddies and stuff. So yeah, but I always knew that golf was what I wanted to do ever since I started playing competitively when I was like 10.
As I mentioned, you had a great career at Michigan. What was it like to go to such a big school?
It was a great experience. Yeah, I mean, the whole, like, the biggest thing about Michigan that I loved was just all the other sports. You know, the hockey team, basketball team, football team, like, they all had great success when I was there. And just being able to see all those teams be so successful and hanging out with all those athletes as well, just, like, surrounding yourself with great people. And, you know, it was such a great experience.
Did you go to any of those Saturday Michigan football games with like 100 and whatever thousand people in the stands? That's wild.
Yeah, I went to a bunch. I probably went to like 12, I would say. I probably went to around three every year. We were on the road traveling a lot for golf and all that, but every time I got the chance, I went. So yeah, no, I went to a bunch of those, and it's a lot of people. I mean, I'd never really stay for the whole game. I mean, it's just, you get in there and it's just everybody's packed on top of each other and it's just hectic.
Yeah. I mean, being from Canada where you like wide open spaces, little adjustment, I'm sure. We're in conversation with Hunter Thompson, golfer playing this weekend at Northern Bear at the ATP Classic. You won the Peloton Glencoe Open this year. That must have been a great feeling for you.
Yeah, the Glencoe was, it was an awesome week. I was just coming off my first professional start at the RBC Canadian Open the week before. And it was a great week, but I came just short of missing the cut. So I kind of had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder headed into the Glencoe. And I just, you know, I had my cousin on the bag, and we were just a great team that week, and everything just kind of lined up, and I ended up raising the trophy at the end, but it wasn't easy. It was a battle on the back nine, and there was a playoff, and yeah, it was crazy, but it was awesome to, you know, be able to stay at home and win my first pro check was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And you know, for me, I mean, I love your story because, you know, we're so proud of our Canadian golfers, and we've had many who've had great success. And I always feel like it's like, you know, baseball players coming from the Great White North. It's not a, you know, you have to make great sacrifices because of the weather that we have here at certain times of the year, but it can be done, obviously. Is that your dream to play many years on the tour and to have great success?
I mean, that's exactly my dream. You nailed it. That's all I want to do with my life. I mean, I know I'm still pretty young, 21 years old, so I got a long ways. I got a long career ahead of me, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, I just got to keep working up the ladder and you know, get to the PGA Tour eventually, and just stay there, compete, win tournaments, and you know, seeing all these Canadians out there right now. It's really just inspiration because it makes me really know that I can do it.
You know, that's a great feeling. It's inspiration, right? That's awesome. Let me ask you, I'm the worst golfer you'll ever talk to. So just know that going in, but I played a lot of golf on a lot of really nice courses. And, years and years ago, I went to the TPC course in Scottsdale, and I was just astounded at the greens. It was like glass. You just touch the ball and it goes like 100 yards. And so my question is, I know you played obviously great courses in Calgary, and then you've obviously, when you were in Michigan, you played great courses there too, and now you're on tour. When did it get impossible to putt, or has it been difficult all along, or is that your high skill level and it doesn't bother you at all?
I mean, honestly, at this level, I believe that it does matter how fast the greens are, but, you know, we just get used to the speed very quickly. And, you know, everybody has to putt on the same greens, right? So it's a level playing field. And, yeah, maybe on some courses you want to keep the ball below the hole a little more than others. But yeah, I mean, like you said, though, like in Alberta here, like, I don't know, the greens, never really get like crazy. I mean, out east, in the summer they can be pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, I played a lot of fast greens. I played the U.S. Amateur at Oakmont like 4 years ago, so that was for sure the fastest greens I've ever played on. That was a great experience.
Yeah, I can tell you love the game. How proud are your parents of you?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it'd be hard for me to feel that, but I can imagine they're extremely proud of me. I mean, they tell me all the time, so that's it's really amazing just to hear that.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're living the dream, and they're delighted, and we want to wish you the best of luck this weekend and in your career.
Hey, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm really grateful to be doing this. This is a dream come true to be able to do this at such a young age, and I'm just really looking forward to what the rest of my career has to offer.
All right. Thank you. There you go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there you go, Hunter Thompson, making fans on the radio. That's a great conversation. Nice guy, humble, something you and I should look into a little bit. I know it's in the dictionary.
There it is. Just waiting for the mic.
Humility. We don't bring any to the show, but do we bring any when we're not?
You
on
bring
the show?
some pretty good humility to the show. I think it's actually funny. During the show, you bring humility. I do not. Outside of the show, it's reversed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I bring humidity after the show.
You guys could see the conversations with me and Lowetide. Like I try to say hi, and he just doesn't even look my way. It's ridiculous.
I can't hear anybody anymore. This is my day at the work. I come in, I go, "Hi, everybody!" Like I'm on Dr. Nick, and then people go, "The cord to the camera." What?
Yeah, you still call me Dylan 3 or 4 times a week.
Sure.
I'm like, hey, no, it's Declan.
Yeah.
Well, we've been doing the show together for a while.
The only name I remember is Mrs. Andrews.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So
who could forget?
If I would pay cash money to have her on the show as a guest.
I would too. I would love to.
Yeah, but you'd bring your boxing gloves.
No, come on. I'd stay home though.
People are making Hunter S. Thompson jokes.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen.
I've always wondered why Mr. McDavid, this is from Brent, I understand we aren't supposed to use their first name anymore, wouldn't sign a $14 to $15 million contract. And then he gets into something about his wife doesn't win a sealed competitive bid for a design supply of office furniture, et cetera, from Kate's Properties for $4 or $5 million a year. Brent, that's very good, but you can't do that.
Well, that would be fraud.
Well, but
here's the thing,
Kawhi
not really,
know.
because but like you could make it legitimate, and then it's just shady dealings. It is.
Can I ask you something?
Proposition, but
why does Kawhi have to pay or Shohei have to pay greater heed to the law than politicians do?
You could make an argument they have more impact on society than politicians do.
Yeah, but that's a lame reason.
No, I don't know.
Politicians should be above this kind of thing.
Yeah, like you're talking about, like how someone like Nancy Pelosi shorts a bunch of different stocks.
I'm just saying, I'm not using names because it's a litigious society, but I mean, it's a little bit weird, right?
No,
Where
for sure.
They go in, they make $80,000 a year, they come out and it's $14 million a year, and they're worth $3,500 million.
Yeah, it's a lot. One last thing to Brent's comments, just with some of I think the potential for something that the NHL would describe as conduct detrimental to the league could be found as kind of the underlying wrongdoing for something like that.
Yeah. Phil says, with reference to Kawhi, was it not common practice for CFL teams like the Eskimos to assist players on obtaining legitimate jobs in the community? CFL salaries are not much above subsistence levels on and off the field was necessary to fund the football dream. That was true of baseball. Yogi Berra sold suits. You look at in the 50s, all sports sort of had off-season jobs for all of their players. Teams would do that. But I think we can agree that's a little different, in fact, it's a lot different because the money that is made now is so unbelievable, and it's supposed to be all under the cap. And I mean, you can't, like, if it came out tomorrow, I'm going to say this now so that if it ever does, I'll be right about one thing in my life. If it came out tomorrow that the reason that McDavid wasn't signing and Kaprizov wasn't signing and Eichel wasn't signing is because the Players Association is pissed about expansion money, I'd go, aha, that makes sense. Nobody's mentioned it. I don't think that's the case, but I can see that the NHLPA has their gaunch in a knot and they're mad about it, and maybe this is their way of slow playing progress on other things. Not getting a piece of the expansion money has got to piss players off big time.
For sure. Lines the owners' pockets, and they're the billionaires.
Connor McDavid contributed to this game being as popular as it is.
Yep.
And so that should go into the pool for the cap.
But here's the thing. Then it's like a whole new issue. Like Connor and, a guy like maybe, Sid, Ovi, those type of players. You want to talk about someone, throw Kopitar in there, a guy who was the mainstay player of a big market that won a couple cups. Like those guys, I get it. But Matthews as well, whatever, however many names you want. I get it. But if it goes into a pool, then all of a sudden it's the same argument. Like you're getting players who haven't done anything to contribute to the growth of the league, getting a piece of that.
No.
And that's another issue in and of itself.
I can't believe the number of Hunter S. Thompson comments we had.
You can't. I'm surprised it's not more.
I did mention Hunter Thompson at the top as if he was Hunter S. Thompson, but he's a nice young man.
Oh,
I'm now a fan of this fellow.
Did you ever see Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
I think I did.
Loathing. I don't know why I said it like that.
I used to read him in Rolling Stone.
Yeah. Wow. That's obviously before my time.
There are some stories in the 70s. Warren Zevon and his buddies used to go out to the Joshua Tree out in the desert.
Ooh, can we play Werewolves of London coming out of next break?
That he did a hockey song. It's somebody.
Really?
Yeah. And then he also did a song about going to the doctor called My Blanks Blanked Up. Have you heard that one?
Probably, but I don't know if I can recall it off the top of my head.
Right. Well, there's 2 words in there I can't say. So
that'll help.
More difficult.
Yeah.
All right. It's 12:56. On the way, we'll talk to Kevin McCurdy. We have declinations. I'm assuming it's Declan CAA coming up at 1:40.
It is Declan CAA coming up at 1:40.
A lot of Notre Dame talk.
Notre Dame, they're a weird one because they're 0-1.
They're always weird.
And there's a team like Iowa State, for example, is 3-0. And
I just feel like Notre Dame is destined never to be great again.
They got a really big one this week against Texas A&M. They lose this, I think it's curtains on the playoffs. But it's a winnable game. It's a game they should win.
Do you know how many ratings points that is to the NCAA?
Not as many as you'd think. Like Notre Dame is a huge program, but what Notre Dame does ratings wise, Bama does,
really?
Ohio State does, Texas does, Michigan does, LSU does. You know what I mean?
It's not. Oh, I knew Ohio State was bigger, but are there 10 bigger schools for ratings?
I wouldn't say 10, and I wouldn't Notre Dame is firmly in the mix,
right?
But I'm just saying, if you do happen to have those schools there, they're not killing themselves,
right? Who's doing the update?
I think I'm going to do the update. I'm going to do the update.
Okay, you're doing the update. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. It's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Papa John's. Get a large one-topping pizza for just $14.99. Use promo code L149 at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. San Jose Sharks have signed 2025 second overall pick Michael Misa to a 3-year entry-level contract today. Misa, 18, scored 62 goals with 134 points in 65 games last season with the OHL's Saginaw Spirit. Anthony Rizzo's glove has been hung up for good. The 3-time All-Star first baseman announced his retirement from the MLB today. And conflicting reports with Kirill Kaprizov as Frank Saravalli reporting that Kirill Kaprizov's camp turned down an extension offer believed to be 8 years, $128 million. That would have made him the highest paid player in NHL history in both AAV and total dollars, but Rob Reinhart reporting that his camp did not turn down the extension and that didn't go in. The NBA is conducting its own investigation into gambling allegations against Malik Beasley, the free agent guard. It was linked to a federal probe this offseason, league sources confirmed to ESPN. And in the MLB today, we are going to get going with the Nats and Mariners. Brewers and Rangers at 12:35, Red Sox and A's at 1:35, Diamondbacks and Giants at 1:45, and a little bit later on today, we will see the Blue Jays taking on the Houston Astros. Jose Barrios on the mound for that one. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter goes for a fall stroll.
Ah, the beauty of fall. These leaves are crunchier than that calcified shower head I replaced this morning. And the earthy yellow oranges and browns are as colorful as the wad of hair I pulled out of the shower drain.
Ugh, Mr. Rooter, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like fall. You look about as sour as the sewer line I unclogged yesterday.
For a plumber you'll truly fall for. Call Mr. Rooter.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Center. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
It's the Brick's famous tent sale. Save up to 60% off clearance items in the tent and store, with more amazing deals arriving daily in every department. Like up to $1,800 off power reclining sectionals and up to $700 off big screen TVs. Buy more, save more when you buy 2 or more major appliances, up to $1,000 off. Plus, get a free Bluetooth party speaker when you spend $9.99 or more on furniture. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Hey, tough game today, Coach. What happened out there? Well, our O-line was about as sturdy as a fuck. The receivers couldn't catch a beat. They tried. Next question.
Somebody needs a filter.
Napa Auto Parts annual fall filter event sale is on now till September 21st. Visit your participating Napa store and get your cabin, air, and oil filters and more to keep your vehicle or equipment running in peak winning condition this fall. That's Napa know-how.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Imagine a busy classroom. Now imagine it if no one was willing to teach. Here's the reality. It's getting harder to keep teachers in the profession and to attract new people to an increasingly challenging job. Pay for teachers has fallen far behind inflation and cost of living. With fair wages, we can keep the ones we have and hire more. But we need the provincial government to step up. Because a fair deal for teachers is a good deal for kids. A message from the Alberta Teachers Association.
It takes grit. It takes heart. It's the legendary Canadian Finals Rodeo, powered by ATV. From October 1st to 4th in Edmonton, the nation's best go head-to-head in a battle of pure willpower. Witness the raw strength and adrenaline at Rogers Place. Plus, soak up the Western lifestyle at the Canadian Country Expo, with free admission and shuttles running between the expo and the arena. This is more than a rodeo. It's a showdown. Get your tickets now at cfr.ca.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Plan for success in 2026 with help from the Co-op Grow Team.
With the latest on-farm technology, our agronomists will work with you to gather and interpret soil samples, analyze data, and gain more insight into your fields. We offer local expertise and trusted advice to help you plan your inputs and prepare for the unexpected. Get ready to make data-driven decisions with Co-op Egg Zone Fields. Make a successful 2026 crop plan to meet your field's potential. Talk to your Co-op Grow team today.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I want to explain how our operation works. You see, over at the new RV store, they take orders and try to sell them all by camping season, and sometimes they sell out early. Sometimes they're stuck with a few that just won't move, and maybe they take a couple of used ones on trade. At No Bull, it's a whole different ballgame.
You have inventory arriving all the time, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. The RVs at No Bull are here on consignment. Folks choose to sell their RVs with us because the customers are already here.
And you specialize in used RVs.
Better believe it, Bob. The new RV stores are not that interested in used models. And nobody in Alberta has more quality used RVs than we do. Not by a long shot. So if you want to sell yours fast, come to where the buyers are. And that's here.
And that's No Bull.
NobleRV.ca.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
The Lowdown on Sports 1440 Radio, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues on the entire lineup of 2025 Sierra trucks. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. And of course, we're also on YouTube. You can join us any way you want, and we appreciate you dropping by. A very busy hour coming up. Declan Krueger will have Declinations, Declan CAA at 1:40. Right now, we're joined by Kevin McCurdy. Talk a little bit Edmonton Oilers and Edmonton Oilers rookie camp. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing well this week. How are you doing, Alan?
Turn the song off. I'm good. Let's talk a little bit about the rookie camp. The idea that Ike Howard and Matt Savoy are on this team is a delight to me because I want to see these guys play. And I haven't seen Ike Howard play like ever. I mean, I've seen highlights of him. How much importance I think Howard, a guy like Howard and Savoy should dominate this tournament. It's a rookie tournament. Calgary's bringing some guys too, but these are high end, first round picks. How much do they have to do to impress, or is it almost a matter of no matter what they do, it won't be as impressive as what they might do at main camp?
I think it'll be an opportunity for at least to get a glimpse of what these kids look like. I'm hoping that I might actually get to go to that, but I have another conflicting event with that particular night, so we'll see how things work out. I am very excited to see what these kids can do. I do think that there is a high ceiling for Ike Howard if he can make the jump, and I know I've been a little bit on the fence about him. If he can make the jump, he could make a real difference. There hasn't been a lot of those successful NCAA to NHL jumps that I'm aware of, at least on their face. So if he can pull it off, man, we're in for a real treat with that guy.
It's going to be interesting because I remember when Nail Yakupov was here, and one of the problems was that he wasn't a great two-way kind of a player, and so they traded him to Ken Hitchcock in St. Louis, and Hitch was the even worse example of a guy who probably wasn't going to trust a young player, and so with Ike Howard, He's coming in, and Chris Knobloch likes his two-way players, and especially on the wing, a lot of those guys are expected to kill some penalties, at least, and maybe power play if they're strong enough, and maybe he is. But where do you see him possibly, lining up? Maybe a third line with a mentor like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in preseason?
Yeah, and I may even say that we might see him higher in the lineup in the preseason, just because the first few games you don't really have the McDavid's. Zach Hyman's almost certainly not going to be playing. There's an opportunity to push him very far up the lineup, get some minutes on him, and see what he looks like. But I would say even leading into the first couple of weeks of the season, there's a non-zero chance he's in the top six somewhere, but it really depends on if he can bring as much of that defensive game as his offense has shown.
We've talked about Matt Savoy. You and I both are looking forward to him based on the Draisaitl play, but also the numbers and what we saw on viewings with the Bakersfield Condors in the AHL. With Zach Hyman injured and maybe not ready for the start of the year, do you see a world in which McDavid maybe lines up with Mangiapane and Savoy, or do you think that's a bridge too far?
I see a world where he lines up with potentially Mangiapane and maybe an Adam Henrique, or maybe he gets a little bit of Nuge back on his line. I have a strong suspicion that Leon has a very specific type of player that he likes to play with. He's been fairly vocal about it even. And I think that there's a non-zero chance that the Savoy, Draisaitl, Podkolzin thing gets a real run this year to see if there's something there. Savoy brings a lot of that offensive skill, and Podkolzin, Draisaitl sang the praises for him earlier in the week or last week, saying, basically he does all the dirty work so that I can do Leon things, was kind of the gist of the conversation. So, yeah.
It's funny because I got an article up at the Athletic, and I know that you go through the preseason and there's a lot going on, but I was kind of surprised that Draisaitl with Jeff Skinner and Victor Arvidsson got so little preseason time. I mean, they barely played during the preseason, 23 minutes at 5-on-5 together. And then the defensive group in the preseason, Kulak and Dermott spent 2 minutes together, and Nurse Emberson 14 minutes together during the entire preseason at 5-on-5. One of the things that I think the Oilers might be able to do is play Ekholm and Bouchard together, but maybe Nurse and Wallman together in preseason. They played like 100 and some minutes during last year, and they looked very good. The numbers were outstanding. Do you think it's a good idea to pair these guys as you get closer to the season, say the last 5 games of the year, and maybe have players playing together with lines and pairings that you might see on opening night?
Yeah, the one thing I wasn't real crazy about the preseason last year is we spent, I think, just a little bit too much time looking at the what could be's and versus the what we would like to be's, if that makes sense. I'd like to see them solidify the lines going into the season a little bit earlier. Give them a couple of real good games with sort of the core group. I know that means you're making some cuts a bit earlier than you'd like, but at the same time, we want to get a good footing on game one and really, get out the door strong this year. So I'd really like to see them use those last 2 or 3 games of the preseason for, basically our functional lineup.
So this time of year for me, I always get a little bit, I don't know if melancholy is the word, but I sort of look back and I remember those cold falls in October and November, winter, growing up in Maidstone, and reading Hockey Digest, and the rosters would come out in the December issue, which showed up in like September. And you'd get all the names of the players, and the summer had gone by and the trades would be made. And, Derek Sanderson was a New York Ranger, and you'd kind of get a feel for it, but there was also an excitement to begin the season. And then as time went on, I remember when I watched Connor McDavid at the old arena in 2015 and seeing Taylor Hall in a rookie game. And those memories come flooding back. And we're looking forward to, obviously, these new young rookie players coming and letting them have a chance to impress us. But hockey in the fall at the beginning of the year is a little bit about reminiscing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I guess for me, reminiscing more than I usually would, right? This year is going to be quite poignant, I think, and I'm both looking forward to it, and it's a bit of a melancholy, as you put it, experience for me personally. I am looking forward to seeing the new talent, but I do really want to see this team sort of get back at on the horse and get going. Like, we've been to the Stanley Cup Finals twice. Let's get the job done. We're so close. It's so close.
Do you think, I mean, they were 0-3 last year and they started, and they got blown out, I think, against Vancouver 2 years ago. Do you think it's important to start much stronger and more prepared, and maybe even be the more prepared team in game one?
Absolutely. Yeah, they've struggled the past couple of years getting a strong start going, and particularly the one season that cost Jay Woodcroft his job. I really want to see that, first game on the ice, and more importantly, the second and third games, right? It's, last year, I think, if I remember right, they won the first game and then they slipped a little bit. That first step, even for an 82 game season, it's really, really important that they get out the door and get them as much padding on themselves as they can.
You're the only person that I'm going to talk to this week that I'm not going to, bring up Connor McDavid unless you want to say anything, because I think I've heard and read enough about what the reaction have been to his media avails, and I think at this point, from my point of view, silence is almost the better thing, because this will play out, and we just have to wait.
Absolutely. What I do want to talk about is Kirill Kaprizov deciding that 8 years, $16 million a year wasn't enough for him with the Minnesota Wild. I mean, I don't know what planet. I know he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He is an incredible player, but that's Connor McDavid money, and he is not Connor McDavid. He might think he's Connor McDavid, but either he's going to take that money and Connor's going to have to take a little bit more at the urging of the NHLPA, or there's going to have to be some reconciliation of what the possible is, because that just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not even sure Connor wants to be in that 17, $18 million mark. I mean, it's good for his bank account, but it's not good for the team.
Well, and there is some pushback on that story being true out of Minnesota. I don't know the exact wording of it, but we'll find out as the hours and the days go by. Listen, look forward to this. Next time we talk, we'll have actual hockey action to enjoy. Are you looking forward to the rookie games against Calgary?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's see what the kids got. Let's find out what the future of this team looks like in the medium to longer term, and let's get the season underway, man. It's been a long summer. I'm really looking forward to seeing some skates and sticks and actual sounds of the hockey rink and the smells and all the things that go with good hockey, professional fun.
Yeah, good stuff. Thanks for this. Appreciate it.
No worries. Have a good week, Lowetide.
There you go. Kevin McCurdy visits us every Wednesday, and we appreciate him very much. Talking about the Edmonton Oilers. House League Tom says, Esposito worked at a steel mill till he was 30. George McGowan, Eskimos receiver, drove gravel truck. Bobby Hull farmed. It's true. Everybody had a job. But the other side of that is that if you go by the Bobby Baun book, Bob Baun, when he was an Oakland Seals defenseman, and in Detroit, he took Gordie Howe out for dinner, and he said, "Gordie, you're a fool. You make $8,000 a year. I make $50." The fact that Esposito and Bobby Hull had to like work in the off season was residue of not having a union. And look, I don't care if you have a union or you don't have a union, but you have to treat people fairly. And so when people get outraged by the contracts in the NHL now, I just refer them to the Gordie Howe experience with the Norris family. And I think that should be answer enough as to whether or not we should ever feel sorry for National Hockey League owners. The next time I feel sorry for one of them will be the first time. All right, we have Declan NCAA coming up at 1:40 or so. Your comments, lots coming in at 833-401-1440, and we'll discuss those on the way. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Experience a season of superior luxury, performance, and savings. The Fall Experience event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The all-new redesigned 2026 XC90 is here. Come drive one today. You won't be disappointed. Finance or lease a 2026 XC40 from 1.99%. And right now, you can save $7,500 on remaining 2025 XC60s. The Fall Experience event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Visit VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal. Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar. Presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids age 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic.
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
Imagine a busy classroom. Now imagine it if no one was willing to teach. Here's the reality. It's getting harder to keep teachers in the profession and to attract new people to an increasingly challenging job. Pay for teachers has fallen far behind inflation and cost of living. With fair wages, we can keep the ones we have and hire more. But we need the provincial government to step up. Because a fair deal for teachers is a good deal for kids. A message from the Alberta Teachers Association.
September, back to class and back to carting the kids around. Good news. Until the end of the month at Wolf GMC Buick, get GMC employee pricing on all remaining 2025 GMC Sierras, so you'll have loads of room. Plus, get 0% financing on Sierra light-duty crew cabs. If you're eyeing up an SUV, we have the completely redesigned GMC Terrain and our entire Buick family with incredible prices. And Costco members up to $1,200 additional off the price. Come see us, corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Breaking down the fine art of sports. One rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440, and we are walking on sunshine. What a day. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. All right, behind the scenes during the Kevin McCurdy interview, a lot was going on. I want to, first of all, publicly, I feel bad for yelling at Sam, so I apologize, Sam. I felt like I was talking to my kids again when I said, turn that record down.
No worries. No worries.
Declan, are you okay? Or are you still upset about the cord?
I mean, I don't really care. It's just like,
right.
It's going to make things worse, like objectively worse. Like on YouTube today, you don't look great. You know what I'm saying? It's not you.
Well,
Sorry,
I
phrased that
didn't
poorly.
sleep well.
I phrased that poorly. It's just like the angle
I haven't
and
had vegetables
we can rotate between the cameras of me and you, but there's no real way to.
It doesn't
have
look like
both
it
of us
should.
on at one. Yeah,
Right.
it's just
okay. I
It's
look a little pale. And what is my hair doing this week? I'm getting my hair cut Saturday. Yeah, no, I got to get it cut. It's just like, I mean, Marcel does a fabulous job, but it is too damn long. And then what about you, Josh? I said, is everything fixed? And you said, Lowetide, everything is so far from fixed. So what's the state of the universe?
Well, as far as the universe goes, I think that's okay. It's not ending today.
Okay.
In the
Good to
terms
know.
of getting a cord or figuring out what the problem is, we think we have it. However, I thought I had it last time and I was wrong. So
we went out and bought a $3,000 piece of equipment and you were wrong. Is that what
it was
happened?
actually $7,500.
Man, I'm loving this. I heard
loving
that.
this.
I heard that you needed a 6-foot cord, and you got an 8.
No, we got an 8-foot cord.
Right.
We needed a longer one.
Right. So you need the major fall and the minor lift is what you need. Will this be done by tomorrow? When I come in tomorrow, will the camera be in the regular spot?
Let's not hold our breath here. All right. I'm hoping. But you know what I really need?
What's that?
A Bud Light.
You know, honesty is the best policy, Josh.
You should have seen me today. I was like running around the studio and every break, like trying to figure out what's wrong, looking at things.
Yeah, but you let it out of your system. My friend Declan over here, I mean, he's playing solitaire on his computer. I just have a bad feeling about his car when he goes out there. He's gonna crank that crankshaft.
He's gonna be okay.
Okay. Montana to Rice, I've heard, Lowetide, I've heard about the Netflix documentary coming out called Who Killed the Expos, October 21st. Yeah, it's coming. I will watch it for sure, but I you know, are they going to have the part where the Blue Jays could have voted to keep the Expos and they didn't? Because that's part of it. The closest Kaprizov gets to McDavid is they have the same number, Robin West Edmonton.
Kaprizov is pretty good.
He is, but he's not McDavid.
Well, but no one is. But I'm just saying, like the way Kevin said, like he might think he's like he doesn't think that. He doesn't think he's McDavid. What he thinks is he is a franchise player, and it's a team that has probably not a real cup window, but a playoff window, and he is their marquee player hitting free agency at the right time. That's what Kirill Kaprizov is. Like, he doesn't have to think he's McDavid to know he's going to get paid like one of the best players in the world, when he is certainly the best player on that team, and he's the most important player to that team, and they need to keep him. And by the way, he's eligible to sign an 8-year extension at the perfect time.
But he's arrogant.
No, not really.
He wants more money. He's got to be a bad guy. They're ruining the cap.
You think if he blew out both his knees, Minnesota would give a rip about him? Like, get as much money as he can.
Listen, I just fill your hat, young man. I just
you do,
because
you bait me.
How long is the career? You can say it's 15 years or 20, but it might be 8. It
might be 4.
6. You know, great show, Lowetide. Eddie Shack passed away 4 years ago, July 26, 2020. Maybe I clear the track. Here comes Shack to start off from Paul. He sent that on July 25th, and I'm just reading it now because he just sent me something new about construction. One day I will pre-read all the texts, and the show will reach a new level. Is Lowetide Nosferatu? No. No. Come on. I don't live that well. What's your favorite, like, horror movie?
Oh, man, you're asking the right guy. Because I have a horror movie collection on DVD. I think we've talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
My all-time favorite is Halloween.
Right. Great
My
movie.
second favorite, Black Christmas. 1974 Canadian movie, actually, with Margot Kidder and Olivia Hussey. Keir Dullea was in it, directed by Bob Clark. And then my third favorite, Scream.
Yeah.
We could have made that a 2-hour show talking about horror movies.
I love.
Hey, do you want to come on my podcast and talk about horror movies?
Sure. I love The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer.
See Thomas Howell as well. I think Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yes,
maybe,
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great movie. I love that one. That's one of my favorite road style horror movies.
Yeah.
Joyride's up there, but The Hitcher's a great. I'm surprised you've seen The Hitcher.
No,
It's kind of niche.
When he gets in the car and he goes, "I killed him, and I'm going to kill you." There is a moment where chills. Like, he's just really good at that.
He played the role so well.
And I still think that No Country for Old Men is a horror movie.
I get where I wouldn't go that far, just because it's far too narrative driven, and it's honestly far too good to be a horror movie.
Brilliant movie.
But I get where you're coming from.
It's one of the movies in my life, along with Clockwork Orange, Sophie's Choice, that I recognize as being an all-time great movie that I will never watch again.
That's interesting. I like Clockwork Orange for sure. Sophie's Choice for sure. I like to rewatch. It's a really good movie.
I was depressed at the end of that movie, just for humanity.
Yeah.
And it was like so well done. You know, like it just was. It was the everything about that movie. The sheriff being like just like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And the unnecessary like plunder, and
there are a few movies you can't watch more than once.
No, I can't. And what's his doodle? The main bad guy,
Javier Bardem,
best bad guy ever in movies.
He's up there. I don't know if I'd give him that credit, but he's up there.
Oh my God, scary. When the guy is saying, he goes, "You gonna put that coin back in your pocket?" He goes, yeah. What else was it? He said, "You don't." He's like, I thought he was gonna shoot him then. Wild movie. Great movie.
Great movie.
Hitcher was a great movie because victims didn't do anything really dumb. It was a smart thriller. Yeah, it was a really good movie. I would watch that again. Declan, have you seen Weapons?
I haven't. New horror movie that just got released. I haven't seen it. I would like to. Plan to.
Shanked One says, "Hey guys, if McDavid is not sure if he can win here, isn't he kind of contradicting himself when he says he believes in this group?" Shanked One. Here's the thing. The words have been parsed to the point now where we're somebody is going to go back to that McDavid interview, play it backwards, and they're going to find some Beatles song on it. Like, we are to the point now where everything has been parsed to the point where, and it's been parsed in different cities in a different way. Edmonton digested it in one way, Toronto digested it in another. And then the Toronto folks come in and they interact with the Edmonton folks. And then the Edmonton folks, they go, "Oh my God, I didn't see it that way." And then there's upset. So here's what I think rational humans should do. Just let it be. It's a Beatles segment now. Just, Connor McDavid is going to make his decision, whatever it is. And he has the right to do that. And you may not like the delay. You may be upset about the delay. You may think less of Connor McDavid because of the delay. But this is how the CBA is written. This is the window of opportunity for him to make an assessment. And he's doing it for him and his family. Mark Messier left Edmonton. He's from Edmonton. It doesn't mean that he doesn't like the city. He clearly loves the team. It's very obvious that he does. Deck Event Horizon is very underrated sci-fi horror flick too. Very psychological, ripping. Hellraiser in space, really.
Oh, interesting. Hellraiser was quite the series. The Xenobites. Event Horizon. I never got around to that one, but I'm looking it up right now. It looks cool.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil is one of the greatest comedy horrors of all time. I thought the best horror funny movie I saw was Evil Dead. That was hilarious.
Well, Evil Dead 2 was funny. Evil Dead
They were both hilarious.
Evil Dead wasn't
funny.
that funny.
It was hilarious. The
think
tree can't do that.
Yeah, that was crazy, hey? Good for 1981, pretty good effects. But Evil Dead 2, when more about it as a comedy. That one came out 6 years later. Tucker and Dale versus Evil, really funny. I like that one a lot. My favorite, funny horror movie. I mean, you could throw Scream in that category.
Yeah. We have to say horror clearly because it sounds like we're saying our favorite horror movies.
Yeah. Horror.
Yeah. Original Exorcist, best horror movie. I was alive and around and went to school during that time. And we were scared bleepless before we saw the film based on what we'd heard about that movie. And that did a really good job pre-sell of scaring the hell out of us. And then when Linda Blair's head goes all the way around, that was a screamer for sure. Yeah.
My mom had a similar story. Her babysitter, her dance teacher at the time saw When a Stranger Calls in theaters and told them about the opening scene, and she was scared to pick up the phone for however long.
Yeah. What's the one where the call is coming from inside the house?
When a Stranger Calls. But Black Christmas actually did that first. That's a huge spoiler if people haven't seen Black Christmas. I'm sorry, I should have warned you. That was the first one to implement it. When a Stranger Calls, that was in that opening 20-minute sequence. It was in there. And then,
When Daryl Cates took over the ownership of the Edmonton Oilers, and he was making mistakes, as young owners always do, most of the Lowetide articles that I wrote for basically an entire year were titled "The Call is Coming from Inside the House." Hey, Lowetide, it's beer 30 somewhere. Man, I don't drink a lot of beer anymore, but when I do, it's really good. When was Scream a comedy? You're thinking Scary Movie.
I was just responding to Brendan. I definitely wasn't. I love Scary Movie. Own that one on DVD. Scary Movie is one of my comfort movies because it is a comedy, but it blends some of my favorite horror movies. It blends Scream with I Know What You Did Last Summer. Then obviously the Wayans brothers have their comedic touch with it. Scary Movie is definitely a comedy. And Scream, it's not a comedy, but it still had some comedic kind of meta elements to it that were funny.
A lot of movies are dumb, like The Hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that'd be up there.
Yeah. You're watching it and you're like, why am I? Cujo was scary.
Cujo was scary.
Yeah.
That one goes on AMC every year at Fear Fest.
I love The Dead Zone. It might be my favorite. Shining was a great movie.
Phenomenal movie. Yeah. Phenomenal movie.
My favorite Stephen King movie is Shawshank, but of the genre of what we could call horror or early movies, Dead Zone was probably my favorite. It's really good.
Yeah. Apparently the book for The Shining is like way scarier, but it's too long. I never read it.
Yeah, it's a lot of words.
Yeah.
It's several pages.
Yeah, anything over like this liner sheet, I kind of check out for.
All of Stephen King's books were better than the movie, I think. The Dead Zone certainly was. Shining was. Shawshank was a short story, I believe.
Shawshank was a short story, and it was actually called Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't read it.
What Stephen King said himself that the best adaptation ever of any one of his stories was Stand By Me.
Great.
Which is my favorite movie ever. Yeah. And then he also said Carrie actually made some changes in the film versus his novel, and Stephen King says they were better.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Carrie is not an easy film to watch.
No, it's not. It's like at its core, it's like a pretty harsh movie about bullying. You know what I mean?
Well, no,
like,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And it was ahead of its time. And the Sissy Spacek was brilliant in that. Also brilliant in Coal Miner's Daughter.
Sissy Spacek, I believe, was nominated for an Oscar for Carrie.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
I love movie talk. Quentin is the all-time greatest. He didn't make a bad movie. His best was Reservoir Dogs for sure, and Glorious Bastards very close second from Hot Salsa. Well, I'll say that Reservoir Dogs was, for me, what I was spellbound. I remember not knowing what time it was and what day it was when the movie ended. I was sitting there and I was so gone from where I was brought to another place by that movie. It was wild. I still remember a lot of the breakfast scene.
Great scene. His best movie, though, is Pulp Fiction.
I love Pulp Fiction.
His worst movie, I don't know. Maybe Death Proof. Yeah, for sure.
I haven't seen that one.
Richard Rodriguez.
Coen Brothers' best movie.
Raising Arizona.
Oh, that's a really good one. Yeah. Miller's Crossing is really good, you guys. Except for the scenes where nobody can shoot straight. It's a really good movie. But I got to say, I'm not saying Raising Arizona is the best one, but man, that's a great candidate for it. Okay, 137. Enough of this sports talk. Damn it. We got Declan CAA on the way. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 on YouTube.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor. A unique
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440. I am stuck in the middle. I've got clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, but that's the deal. Lowdown brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues on the entire lineup. WolfGMCBuick.com. 141. Time for Declinations. Presented by Elks Nation. 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and Declan Krueger breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth Double E football coverage available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast. All right. Are we starting with Ohio State or are we starting with Ohio State?
Well, as always, I'm going to give my top 12, talk about a few of the games last weekend, and then look ahead to some of the games this weekend. So number one in my top 12, obviously Ohio State.
Sorry, what did I say?
Goes without saying, I think still to this point, they obviously beat Texas in that game where they host Texas. Texas is the number one team in the country. And then they do not hit a backslide when they play Grambling. They beat Grambling 70-0. They're my number one team. At number two, I have Oregon. Oregon took care of business against Montana State week 1. And then this past week, they beat Oklahoma State 69-3. Dog walk a Power 4 opponent.
Are you not just like an Oregon fan? Isn't this like a, you're
was
pumping up the jam?
I was actually thinking about you asking me this, and my rebuttal was, who do you put at number 2 ahead of them?
Whoever is number 3.
You put Penn State?
Well,
That's my number 3.
I'm just trying to be.
Penn State had 10 points at halftime against Florida International. Now they wrote the ship 34-0. But still, they had, because the rest of the teams here, because I have Ohio State 1, Oregon 2, Penn State 3, LSU 4. Penn State had 10 points at halftime against Florida International. LSU coming off that Clemson win. They've only beat Louisiana Tech 23-7. They also only had 10 points at halftime. And that win against Clemson that we thought was so great, Clemson was down 16-0 to Troy this week. Now they end up coming back and winning 27-16, but talk a little bit more about Clemson later. At number 5, I have Miami. They took care of business against Bethune-Cookman, noted big dogs of college football. They won that one to 45-3. At number 6, I had Georgia. Georgia played an FCS school, Austin P, and only won 28-6. Gunnar Stockton threw the ball 34 times. What do you think Dante Moore or Julian Sands or even Arch Manning would have done against an FCS school if they had to throw the ball 34 times?
Well, they wouldn't say Austin P.
Well, that's the name of the school.
Yeah.
They would have won 1,000-0. Georgia only beat them 28-6, so they come in at number 6. Number 7, I have Texas. They obviously get the bounce back win against San Jose State. Look good in that. At 8, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to. I did not have them in my top 12 last week. I am happy to put them in there this week. Florida State. I have Florida State at number 8. They obviously had the Alabama win. Alabama looked good against Louisiana, or Alabama looked good against. Was it Louisiana Monroe they played? I believe it was. It was Louisiana Monroe. They won that one 73-0. And Florida State, they took care of business against East Texas A&M 77-3. Now these aren't, formidable opponents by any stretch of the imagination, but they still took care of business against those terrible schools better than other teams did. And my point was, I wanted to wait and see what Florida State was because we didn't know what Alabama was. They were never going to lose this game, obviously, but they showed to me that Tommy Castellanos is the real deal. He was only 8 of 11, but he had 237 yards and 3 touchdowns. They go out there, they beat them. I am more than happy to put them in my top 10. I got Florida State at number 8. At number 9, I have Notre Dame. Really funny. They're 0-1. It's funny because I got Iowa State at 10 and Iowa State's 3-0. So it's funny that I have them at 10 and Notre Dame at 1. Notre Dame, they got a big one this weekend against Texas A&M. If they lose this one to Texas A&M, I don't think it would be ridiculous to have them not in the top 25. And also, if they lose this one to Texas A&M, their hope at the playoff is over because they really have no way to make up ground the rest of the season, and they have no good wins that are going to be on their schedule. So I have them number 9, big game against Texas A&M this weekend. Number 10, like I said, I have Iowa State. They took care of business against Iowa, won 16-13. They're 3-0. Number 11, I have South Carolina at 2-0. And number 12, I have USF, the only team in the country with 2 ranked wins. They beat Number 25, Boise State in week 1 of the season, 31-7, dog walked them. And then they beat number 13, Florida in the swamp, 18-6. If any other school in the Power 4 had 2 ranked wins, they might be the number 1 team in the country. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
USF, I think they're 18 in the official rankings right now. I think they're 18. I have them at number 12, firmly belong in the top 12 as far as I'm concerned. And then obviously they're my group of 5 team. Now, let's talk about some of the games this past weekend. I talked about a few of the teams I wanted to talk about. Ohio State took care of business. Penn State started slow. LSU didn't look all that impressive, got the win. The team I really wanted to talk about was Clemson, because Clemson was down 16-0 to a point to Troy. Now they do come back and win that game 27-16, but I have Clemson outside of my top 12, and I think that's deserved. They're 1-1. Their loss was at home where they scored 10 points to LSU, and I had LSU ranked very highly last week, as did everyone, but that LSU team laid a bit of an egg against Louisiana Tech this past week and only won 23-7. So I got Clemson way out of there. Illinois is a team that just missed it for me. I wanted to give USF the benefit of the doubt based on their resume, but Illinois beat Duke 45-19. They're 2-0. They look really, really good. And I was high on this Illinois team because I thought they had real potential to be last year's Indiana and get in as kind of a one-loss team that just has a really easy schedule. They look really good. I'm really impressed with what Illinois is doing. They just missed it. Arizona State lost to Mississippi State 24-20. Mississippi State won 2 games last year. They've already hit that total through two games played this season. And nice. ASU, who I wasn't high on, I thought ASU was going to have a legitimate regression because of how much Cam Scatterbo meant to that team, even though they still have Sam Levitt. It looks like it's starting now, because all respect to Miss State isn't a great team, and they still beat Arizona State. So, and then obviously, how can I not talk about this one? Michigan, Oklahoma. These were 2 teams not 2 teams, but Oklahoma was a team that just bordered on the outside of that top 12 as well. I think if someone wants to put them there, I have no problem with it. I think they're deserving. John Mateer, I think, is a guy who right now you would give the Heisman to, just based on what he's done so far this season. That Michigan win was good. But Bryce Underwood hasn't looked great for them. So, yeah, listen, it's a great win for Oklahoma. They're a team that, really deserves to be where they are in the official rankings. And I really like what I've seen from them. I think they're going to be – listen, I think they're probably going to end up with like 3 losses in SEC play. But to this point in the season, they've done really well.
Okay.
All right, now some of the games this weekend. The biggest game of the week – well – there are a few games that could be qualified as the biggest game of the week. Georgia, Tennessee is one I want to talk about. Georgia shot up to 15 in the AP rankings, which is a joke. The only reason that happened is because they now want to build this as a top 15 matchup between Georgia and Tennessee. I would have Tennessee probably 19 or 20. I have nothing against Tennessee, but
you've never liked Tennessee. You drive right by it. You go around it.
I really like Tennessee in 2022 when they beat that Alabama team with Bryce Young, but via the walk-off field goal. And then the fans stormed the stadium and it felt like 98. That was awesome. But this is my thing. I have no problem with taking care of business against FCS opponents because that's what you're supposed to do. But they beat East Tennessee State 72-17, and they move up 7 spots in the rankings. Is beating East Tennessee State really worthy of moving up 7 spots in the rankings? I'm not sure that it is. So they're playing Georgia this week. It's in Tennessee. I expect Georgia to win that game, but Georgia kind of has to have a bounce back performance because they did not look great against Austin Peay. And Tennessee, as far as Georgia's schedules goes, this is that good win, quote unquote good win. That should be an easy win for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's on the road. It looks good on a resume if Tennessee plays well. But it's a game they really should win. And if they lose this one, I think the potential to falter for Georgia along the way is there, with the Texas matchup. They got to play Bama. We'll see what happens there. So this would be a good one for Georgia. South Florida and Miami. South Florida ranked 18, Miami ranked number 5. Could you imagine if South Florida beats 3 ranked opponents in a row to start the season and 3 better ranked opponents each time? They go from 25 to 13 to now number 5, doing this one on the road. This is a Miami team that beat Notre Dame. Miami is 15.5 point favorites. I expect them to win this game, but how cool would it be if USF won? There would be a legitimate argument, Lowetide. They could be the number 2 team in the country if they win this Miami game on the road as 15.5-point favorites. Now, it probably won't happen. Things are probably going to correct themselves. I dogged USF a couple weeks ago when you asked me about Boise State, and I said that USF team might win 3 games this year. They got 2 already, 2 wins. So USF is rolling. I want to see what they can do against Miami. That is a must-watch game. For Americans, you know what it's airing on? The CW network. Not Fox, not ABC. When the CW got an ACC package, I don't think they ever would have expected they're getting a 5 versus 18 ranked matchup in week number 3, but that's pretty cool. Florida plays LSU hosting that one. Based on what we saw from Florida last week, LSU should. Here's the other thing. USF is just really, 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 really good. And Florida's just.
So that's 3 reallys?
And Florida's just pretty good. You know what I mean? And LSU, like I said, did not look great against Louisiana Tech. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in that one. And then Texas A&M, Notre Dame. This is the big one for you, Lowetide.
Yeah.
If Notre Dame loses this one, college football playoffs it's over. And you could make a legitimate argument there. They belong outside of the top 25.
And they won't play. Well, they'll play a bowl game because of Notre Dame, but it'll be.
Listen, like if they lose this one, they'll still probably finish 10-2, 9-3. But they
won't play a big game.
Because here's the thing: big bowl games don't exist anymore. The big bowl games are making the playoff.
Yes, that's what I mean. They will not play, but they still call them that, don't they?
Oh yeah. They're still the bowl games are still titled within the playoffs.
Yeah.
Past the first round, but it just. Like it used to be if you didn't make the BCS national championship game, but you still played in the Orange Bowl or the Sugar, like that was still huge.
Sure. Yeah.
But now
Rose Bowl.
Yeah. And one of those would also always be the iteration of the BCS championship game. Like sometimes it would be the Sugar Bowl, sometimes it would be whatever. But
almost every Rose Bowl when I was a kid was Michigan versus either UCLA or USC.
Yes, because it was always Big 10 versus Pac-10 winner.
Yeah.
Pac-8, Pac-10, Pac-12.
Wisconsin would get in, and I'd go, "Where is Wisconsin?" It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. Notre Dame's got to win this weekend.
Other sounds are cutting in over top of Declan on YouTube anyway. I'm making snorting sounds, and I sang La Cucaracha.
Are any program 4s on over there? Because that may be what's doing it. All right.
This is just like the Beatles documentary about making Let It Be. Silence.
Oh, Buck texted in and just tuned in. Any chance you can start over? I wish, man. I wish I could start over. I wish this.
You said 53 minutes worth of words in 9 minutes.
Imagine what
you
I could
should give yourself a break.
Imagine what I could actually do in 53 minutes.
Well, don't hurry it. It's coming. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
I'm driving home and I can barely see. This thing is not, that far away.
Hey, also shout out Panthers Matt. He said Gamecocks, baby. I've liked what I've seen from South Carolina. I like Shane Beamer. I like Lenora Sellers. I had South Carolina as a top 10 team to start the season. I hope they do well. I root for them. They're kind of the plucky SEC underdogs you root for.
Right. The rest of us are down in Bowling Green. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. Jason Krueger on the way. Please enjoy your day.
Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Play Alberta is an all-new app. Download it and get boosted odds on all the big games. Plus, play casino games, grab lottery tickets, and try some quick and easy instant games all on your phone. That's PlayAlberta.ca. Rangers lead the Brewers 3-2 in the top of the fifth in MLB action. A's lead the Red Sox 1-0. Diamondbacks over the Giants by that same score. Blue Jays will play today at 5:07. Jose Barrios on the mound as they play host to the Houston Astros. Conflicting reports with Kirill Kaprizov. Frank Cervalli reporting that his camp turned down an extension offer believed to be 8 years on $128 million, while Rob Reinhart reported that both his camp did not turn down the extension and that negotiations are ongoing. San Jose Sharks have signed 2025 second overall pick Michael Misa to a 3-year ELC today. Misa scored 62 goals with 134 points in 65 games last season with OHL's Saginaw Spirit, and Anthony Rizzo's glove has been hung up for good, the 3-time All-Star first baseman announcing his retirement today. And finally, in the NBA world, the NBA is conducting its own investigation into gambling allegations against Malik Beasley, the free agent guard linked to a federal probe this offseason, league confirmed. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440